Anti-tank fortifications appear on Belarusian border with Ukraine.
Here's a summary of the article.
In Belarus, a line of anti-tank fortifications, the so-called Dragon's Teeth, appeared near the border with Ukraine. Details. It is reported that the line of Dragon's Teeth is located 10 kilometers from Homi, near the M8 highway towards the border with Ukraine. Construction of what are presumably fortifications is ongoing very close to the border as well. On Thursday morning, Alexander Lukashenko, self-proclaimed president of Belarus and an ally of the Russian dictator, said that all the statements about the Ukrainian counter-offensive are disinformation. Lukashenko has traditionally stated that Ukraine and Russia should sit down at the negotiating table without any preliminary demands from Kyiv.
This post received a score of 6,800, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
On the bright side, those anti-tank fortifications work for both directions.
Perhaps another way for Belarus to prevent itself from being involved. Now they can't send tanks anymore due to the protections.
Unless they used the same shitty concrete that Putler used.
Had to be embarrassing for Russia to watch those things literally fall apart as they were installing them.
That's what corruption buys you.
Don't think Ukraine ever wanted to invade Belarus, but at least Russia isn't bringing tanks to Kyiv again.
They could hardly bring tank to their Victory Day parade.
Tanks is plural that had a tank.
It's just known as the tank now.
Putin, and now ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one, the only. A lone T-34 crawls slowly into view.
Sputter sputter pop pop.
Belarus and Russia now afraid of Ukraine invading them and creating a 60 kilometers wide DMZ for future protection. Oh, the irony. Slava Ukraini.
Peskov, 3-day special military operation going according to plan, nothing to see here.
At this rate Ukraine's gonna have a 3-day counteroffensive to win.
This makes no sense. Are these guys really so paranoid that they think Ukraine wants to invade Belarus?
Their domestic messaging might be that paranoid, yes.
It might also be a way to avoid getting dragged into the conflict.
They are fortifying the wrong border.
These things would not stop tanks coming from Belarus, as they may have left holes which they can bring their own tanks in. Of course Ukraine could use the same holes, but they can be defended.
Given they're probably made with the same quality as the hollow dragon's teeth we saw Russia constructing, they probably wouldn't stop any tank moving in either direction.
This will be great addition to the gigantic wall we have to build against the fascists.
I wonder if Russia is worried that Lukashenko is on his deathbed and Ukraine might take the opportunity to send the Belarusian volunteers in Ukraine back to Belarus to overthrow the government and restore actual democracy.
Aren't Belarusians in the country already trying to overthrow the government? Please correct me if I'm wrong though.
They have, but Lukashenko has previously brutally cracked down on him, including calling in Russian troops to support his security forces. But with Lukashenko seriously ill and the Russian army so pressured in Ukraine, they have a better chance. Even better one though if a bunch of highly trained, battle-hardened, anti-Lukashenko partisans come back to help topple the regime. Now is probably the best chance they'll get. Especially because there is definitely no proper successor for Lukashenko who can immediately step in and take control if he does die.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.